Did you know that two of the actors on One Day at a Time were actually aunt and niece in real life? They shared a set for years, and most fans never realized it. But that's not even the most surprising thing when you look at where this cast ended up. Today we're covering every single member of the Romano family. No dragging it out, no making you wait. Let's get right into it. One Day at a Time gave us something television hadn't really tried before. A single mom, two daughters, and a handyman who somehow held it all together. It ran for 9 seasons, and it never stopped feeling personal. I'd love to know, who were you watching this show with? A parent? A sibling? Maybe on your own after school? Those memories are the whole reason this channel exists. Share yours as we go. And we're starting with someone who came into that apartment as a kid and left Hollywood for a life nobody saw coming. Before Glenn Scarpelli ever stepped onto that soundstage in 1980, he had already shared a Broadway stage with Al Pacino. He was 12. 2 years earlier, he stood beside Anne Bancroft in Golda. He was 10. Then, at 14, he walked into the Romano apartment as Alex Handris, the orphaned kid who needed a family. And somehow, a household of women felt complete. For the kids watching at home, Alex wasn't just a character. He was proof that family isn't always about blood. Sometimes it's about who opens the door and lets you in. He was just 14 when that role began. Today, at 59, Glenn lives in Sedona, Arizona, where he runs his own community television station, Sedona Now TV. He built it from nothing over 20 years ago, and it's earned him 4 Rocky Mountain Emmy nominations. In 2023, he married television producer John Ritchie after they met at a benefit for the Hollywood Museum. He still stays close with Mackenzie, Phillips, and Valerie Bertinelli, and in 2019, he returned for a cameo in the Netflix reboot of the show that made him famous. The kid who needed a family found one. And then, he built his own. Most people remember Shelley Fabares as America's sweetheart from the Donna Reed show, or maybe as the girl who sang Johnny Angel, all the way to #1 on the Billboard charts in 1962. So when she showed up on One Day at a Time as Francine Webster, Anne Romano's sharp-tongued business rival, it caught everyone off guard. Francine wasn't sweet. She wasn't soft. She was ambitious, polished, and unapologetic. And understead waldadig, we secretly dired her. She showed the generation of men that strength didn't need to come eith an apology. What most fans never realized is that Shelley's real-life aunt, Nanette Fabray, was also on the show, playing Anne's mother, Katherine. Aunt and niece sharing a set, playing characters who weren't related at all. Hollywood couldn't have written it better. Shelley was 34 when she joined the cast. Today, at 82, she lives a peaceful life with her husband of over 40 years, MASH star Mike Farrell. After a successful liver transplant in 2000, she stepped away from the spotlight. She wears every year beautifully. And just last year, she and Mike sat down for a rare podcast interview, sharing memories that reminded everyone why she's been treasured for 7 decades. One cast member traded acting for directing and ended up winning an Emmy for one of the biggest sitcoms in television history. Max Horvath didn't make grand speeches. He showed up. When Julie was struggling, Max was there. Not with answers, just with presence. That's what made him matter. Michael Lembeck brought that character to life starting in 1979. And off-screen, his story is just as surprising. Before landing the role, he toured with the original national company of Grease. His roommate on that tour was John Travolta. His high school classmates included Rob Reiner, Albert Brooks, and Richard Dreyfuss. And his father, Harvey Lembeck, was a well-known actor from Stalag 17, He was 31 when he joined the show. Today, at 77, Michael is a celebrated television director. He won an Emmy in 1996 for directing the most-watched episode of Friends, directed both Santa Claus, sequels, and helmed over 20 episodes of Friends in total. He even came back to direct an episode of the Netflix reboot of One Day at a Time. The guy who played the husband quietly became one of Hollywood's most trusted directors. If any of these names are bringing back something for you, you're not alone. I'm feeling it too. There are more faces coming, and honestly, the best ones are still ahead. If this channel feels like a good place to be right now, stay with me. There are performers who have long careers. And then there's Nanette Fabray, who started performing in vaudeville at the age of 3. By 28, she had a Tony. By 35, 3 Emmys. She danced alongside Fred Astaire in The Bandwagon. She made Sid Caesar funnier on Caesar's Hour. She appeared on 184 episodes of The Hollywood Squares. And then, in 1979, she walked onto the set of One Day at a Time as Grandma Katherine, Anne Romano's opinionated, loving, impossible-to-ignore mother. Katherine was the woman who never stopped worrying. She pushed too hard, talked too much, and cared more than she'd ever admit. She reminded us that mothers don't retire from the job. They just find new ways to keep doing it. What made Nanette extraordinary beyond the screen was something most viewers didn't know. She lived with significant hearing loss for most of her life and became one of America's earliest and most vocal advocates for deaf rights. She served on the board of Gallaudet University and received the SAG Life Achievement Award in 1986. She was 59 when she joined the show. She left us in 2018 at 97. But that voice, that timing, that smile when she knew she'd gotten under Schneider's skin, those things don't disappear, they echo. Here's something almost no one knows about the kind dental student who married Barbara Cooper. Boyd Gaines, the actor who played Mark Royer, went on to become the first performer in Broadway history to be nominated for a Tony Award in all 4 acting categories. And he didn't just get nominated, he won 4 times. For the Heidi Chronicles, for She Loves Me, for Contact, and for Gypsy. No other male actor has matched that record. On the show, Mark was the young man every parent hoped their daughter would bring home. Reliable, caring, uncomplicated. He made love feel like something you could count on. Boyd was 28 when he joined the cast. Today, at 72, he's still working. A short film in 2025. Audiobook narration. He's a Juilliard-trained actor, married to actress Kathleen McNenny, and aging with incredible grace in a career most people never saw coming from the guy who played a dental student on a CBS sitcom. Sometimes the gentlest face on screen turns out to have the loudest legacy on stage. 2 of the most unforgettable faces from this show are still ahead, and one of them found a purpose that changed everything. You can still hear it if you listen closely. That voice, half teenager, half adult, arguing with her mother in that small Indianapolis apartment. Julie Cooper didn't follow rules. She tested every single one of them. And she scared us sometimes because she reminded us of ourselves. Mackenzie Phillips was only 15 when Norman Lear cast her. 2 years earlier, she had been the gawky kid riding shotgun with a drag racer in American Graffiti. She was 13 in that film. On One Day at a Time, she became the rebellious older daughter who fought with her mother, fell in love, became a wife, and grew up in front of millions. Julie's relationship with Anne Romano was the beating heart of the show. It was messy, it was loud, It was everything real families actually feel, but rarely say out loud. Life brought Mackenzie real challenges after the cameras stopped rolling. She faced them with a courage that few people ever see. And she came through stronger. Today, at 66, she works as a drug and alcohol counselor at Breathe Life Healing Centers in West Hollywood. Every day, she sits across from someone fighting the hardest battle of their life, and she helps them find their way back. She also co-hosts a podcast called America Recovers and returned to the Netflix reboot of the show in 2017, this time playing a counselor. The rebellious teen who once tested every boundary now spends her days helping others find theirs. Time has only deepened her elegance, and that fire she carried as Julie never went out. She just learned where to aim it. Close your eyes, and you can still see it. That door swinging open without a knock, the tool belt, the mustache, the walk that said, "I own this building and everyone in it." Dwayne Schneider wasn't supposed to be the heart of the show, but Pat Harrington Jr. made him exactly that. Behind the bravado and the bad pickup lines was a man who loved that family more than he'd ever say. He was the protector no one asked for, but everyone needed. The neighbor who became something closer. What most fans never knew is that before Pat Harrington became a comedian, he earned a master's degree in political philosophy from Fordham University and served as an Air Force intelligence officer during the Korean War. He was one of the original members of Steve Allen's comedy troupe alongside Don Knotts. He wrote 12 scripts for One Day at a Time himself, and he won both an Emmy and a Golden Globe for playing Schneider. He was 46 when the show began. He left us in 2016 at 86. His final acting role was in 2012 on Hot in Cleveland, reuniting one last time with Valerie Bertinelli. Norman Lear once called Pat the comic strength of the show. He was right, but Schneider was more than comedy. He was comfort, and every rerun is still a small hello. There's one more face, the one who was there from the very first episode to the very last. The one who became America's little sister. And her story today might be the most moving of all. She was 15 years old when Norman Lear looked at her and saw Barbara Cooper. Valerie Bertinelli didn't just play the younger daughter on One Day at a Time. She became her. For 9 seasons, 208 out of 209 episodes, she was the girl next door, the dependable one, the kid who held it together when everyone else was falling apart. Barbara Cooper was the friend every girl wanted and the daughter every parent hoped for. She made the chaos feel survivable. She made the living room feel like home. And America loved her for it. 2 Golden Globe Awards before she turned 25. A face so familiar, it felt like family. After the show, Valerie never stopped. Touched by an Angel, Hot in Cleveland for 6 seasons and a SAG Award nomination. Then a second career as a Food Network host, winning 2 daytime Emmys for Valerie's Home Cooking. A star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2012, and through it all, best-selling books that let millions of readers into her real life. She was 15 when this journey started. Today, at 66, she's just released her newest memoir, Getting Naked, a book about self-acceptance, aging, and finally letting go of the need to be perfect. It debuted on the New York Times bestseller list in March 2026. She's on a nationwide book tour right now, and she just launched Valerie's Place, her own online platform with cooking shows and a new podcast. Her son, Wolfgang Van Halen, carries on the musical legacy of his late father, Eddie, and Valerie carries on something just as powerful. She keeps showing up. She keeps being honest. She keeps inviting us in. She was 15 when we first met her. She still radiates the same glow we remember. And after all these years, Barbara Cooper is still the one who makes everything feel like it's going to be okay. But we can't close this story without honoring the heart at its center. Before she was Anne Romano, Bonnie Franklin was a child tap dancer, a Broadway performer, and one of the youngest Tony nominees in history for Applause in 1970. She was 31 when Norman Lear handed her a role that would change television. A divorced single mother, 2 daughters, no safety net. At a time when networks were afraid to even let a character be divorced, Bonnie Franklin played a woman who started over. And millions of women saw their own reflection for the first time. She wasn't perfect. Anne Romano wasn't supposed to be. She got it wrong, lost her temper, doubted herself. And that's exactly why she mattered. She showed every mother watching that struggling didn't mean failing, that starting over was brave, not broken. Valerie Bertinelli called her a second mother to me. Glenn Scarpelli stayed close with her until the very end. The cast reunited with her on Hot in Cleveland in 2011 and received the TV Land Award together in 2012. Her final role was on The Young and the Restless that same year. Bonnie Franklin left us on March 1st, 2013. She was 69. She didn't just play a mother on television. She was one to an entire generation. And every time that theme song plays, she's still there, still holding it together, still reminding us that we can do this, one day at a time. 9 seasons, 1 apartment. A family that wasn't supposed to work, but somehow did. One Day at a Time didn't just live on our screens, it lived in our homes. And it never really left. Schneider's still walking through that door. Barbara's still holding it together. Julie's still fighting for what she believes in. And Anne is still reminding us we're enough. So tell me, when you think of One Day at a Time, where were you? Who was next to you on that couch? I'd love to read your memory. There are more stories like this one waiting. More faces, more seasons, more living rooms we used to know. Until next time, hold on to that memory. It matters.